Okay.
Okay, so yeah, so where were we? We were talking about what the group is about, what we're going to do, what we're not going to do. You know, I have a lot of stuff planned, a lot of exciting things. You know, a lot of programmers, a lot of people who can help with, you know, your back end issues, your technical setup, repricers. Everybody should have a repricer. Everybody you're dealing with, all your competition is repricing. So the second you manually reprice, their automation is already repricing. You need to be able to research your products fast and move on to the next thing. You're not going to get rich only doing one thing. You know, you have to have a lot of products. There's a lot of competition, and you need to stretch yourself out as wide as you can. Going deep on a couple things doesn't even work. You know, even with private labels, there's so many people private labeling now that, you know, you're going to get competition eventually. So we're going to help with programmers that, you know, have products on the market that'll come in and answer your questions, you know, tell you what you do, what you don't need to do, how to make use of the free software out there, how to get ungated. Everybody really needs to get ungated in as many categories as possible. You know, and we're going to find a lot of deals, but, you know, the deals aren't the focus. You know, bolos are not what the group's about. There's so many other groups that can do that for you. You know, but it's just an added perk. You know, if you know what to look for, if you know how to do it, then you can go out and do it yourself. And that's what this group is about, is teaching you the skills and tools to go out and find things on your own. You shouldn't have to rely on somebody else to be able to run your own business. And that's, you know, that's what we're going to do. And we're going to look at, I don't know, that's about it. So does anybody have any questions? You know, any ideas on what you want to do? We have a great guy that I met at the Scan Power conference that's going to join the group and help out, who he sold about $200,000 internationally in Q4 and about the same in the U.S. Of last year, and I think he's already surpassed that. He really has the international market down pat, and he's selling in multiple markets, not just the UK, but also Italy and Germany and most of Europe. He has all the product, and he knows how to do VAT. He knows how to do you know, everything you need to do to get into that market. And you know, groceries are ripe for that market. Everybody wants American food, but you know, not a lot of people are sending it over there. So once you know how to get your systems in place, he can really help you with all of that. We have some experts in retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, and a lot of other areas. Groceries, of course. You know, I love to do groceries and liquidation. You know, wholesale. We have a lot of wholesale sources that we're going to be sharing, and you know, I hope everybody wants to go along for the ride. Does anybody have any questions for me? Nobody? No.
water a month, we would sell just enough land. If we also sent in foot bombs, I can't do multi-packs when we send it to Amazon. So.
No multi-packs of foot balm? No? No?
Walk out.
Was I the only one that got kicked this time?
No,
Yeah.
yeah, it looks like everybody's still on.
It's still recording.
Yep.
I don't know what happened. I don't know why I keep getting kicked out.
I'm gone.
Yeah, so everybody that's on the call, if you're not speaking, if you can make sure to mute your microphone, it's down in the lower left of your window. There's a little button that's of a microphone. If you can click on that, so we're not getting any background noise. And then if you want to ask a question, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask, and then we can go at it like that. Thanks everybody for doing that.
Does anybody have any questions?
It looked like Derek French mentioned in chat. He was looking, it says here, when looking for liquidation sources, what kind of questions do you ask? Prices over the phone to save on drive time and that kind of thing.
Another one of my, not dirty.
Um,
The counter in the bathroom.
well, as far as, okay.
Put that one in the bathroom.
Okay, we need to mute Lena and Maggie.
Oh.
Well, I'm looking, Lena right there, yeah.
Okay. All right, great.
Kate. I think oh, there it is, okay. Okay, I think everybody's muted now.
Okay. And then Derek was the one with the question, so.
Right. All right, when looking for liquidation sources, what kind of questions do you ask over the phone? Well, what I do as far as liquidation, there's two kinds of liquidation, what I call, wholesale liquidation and what I call retail liquidation, which is like scratch and dent stores, places that, regular consumers are going to go to. And in that situation, you basically have to go there because they're not going to tell you what they have over the phone. They're not going to tell you what you can use. I find a lot of good product at, what you call the scratch and dent store. So as far as wholesale, they're wholesalers. They're trying to sell their product to you. You call them up, you know them, and you tell them what you want. And, you tell them you're an Amazon seller and what you're looking for. If you're looking for health and beauty and, it's got to be 100 days from expiring, you need to tell them that. And they're going to let you know whenever any deals come in. I get dozens of messages every day with deals. Very few of them you're going to be able to use, but you cast a wide net and you pull back what you want to use. You just have to. A scratch and dent store is somebody who's buying, maybe a truckload of shelf pulls at a time, and they're putting it in their store. A retail liquidation store. They're in every state. I actually have a book about to come out about it. It's a place where the cans are all, scratched and dented, and most of the food is going to be out of date, but you're going to find a lot of stuff that's not out of date, don't have expiration dates, and that's what you're looking for. You're not going to go in there and find 100 items, but you only have to find 2 or 3 items, and it's going to make it wild because usually they have a lot of everything. They're buying the same things we are, liquidation, truckload, and they're just putting it in the
We need to mute Steven and Derek.
All right. That was wild. Yeah.
So Sean, on scratch and dent stuff, what are you able to sell a lot of that stuff on Amazon, or do you find that, I mean, do you sell it as used if it's scratched or dented, or how do you?
Well, I don't buy that kind of stuff. That's just what they call the stores. You know, I'm looking for new items, and you know, there's plenty of that there. All items at retail have a shelf life, and it has nothing to do with an expiration date. The large chain stores like Walgreens or Walmart are going to decide how long that they want them on the shelves. You know, if it's 3 or 4 or 6 months, when it lives that lifespan out, they take it off the shelf and they put it in a box, and when it's full, they send it to a liquidator. You know, and that's why you can buy a lot of things that are out of date, you know, that are still in date, but out of the system. When something doesn't sell, the manufacturer is still making it, and all these big chain stores have contracts where they agree to take it. So, you know, every 3 months, they're getting a new delivery of whatever it is, and the stuff on the store shelves, you know, has to go to make room. So if they sell it or they don't sell it, they still have to clear it off the shelves. So it either goes to clearance, or the bulk of it is going to a liquidator where they're selling it for pennies on the dollar and replacing it with the exact same product that's just a few months newer. How do you find a scratch and dent store? Buy my book. I've got them in every state. You know, I use Google. I can find almost anything on Google. When people ask me questions in the groups, that's all I do is Google it. So that's what you can do. If you search for scratch and dent or retail liquidation, or, you know, grocery liquidation, banana boxes, most of the liquidation for groceries comes in banana boxes, so that's what I search for. Pallet, banana box, grocery, wholesale liquidation, you know, in your city or state. And that's how I find most of the deals. You can also look on what's called Manta. It's manta.com as a business-to-business website. And you search for liquidation and enter what your closest city is. And you're going to find, you know, a lot of businesses that aren't going to pertain to you. You know, pallet liquidators who are selling pallets. And, you know, car liquidators and auto parts liquidators. But, you know, you go through your list, you know, which might only be 20 or 30 locations for your town, but you find the ones that are what you're looking for, and you call them up and you ask them what they sell. And then you investigate them. You know, everything takes a little bit of work, but once you find one, you let them know what you're doing. They are going to call you every time they find a deal. Another thing that I've been doing lately, and I have found a lot of liquidation this way, is I've been contacting the stores directly. You know, for instance, Publix or Winn-Dixie we have here, Albertsons. We contact them. We go to their website, find their business website, contact them, tell them we're a liquidator, and tell them that we're looking for, you know, we want to buy their liquidation product. And if they have a contract, if they have a contract with somebody, or if we're allowed to buy their liquidation directly. And every big chain store has a contract. But that's how you ask them, and they say, we have a contract with this company, and then we contact this company, and they tell us where their locations are, and you know, we just bought about 2,000 items today we picked up. We went there, they showed us everything they had. Most of it we couldn't use because it was banana boxes of expired, broken, beat up grocery store items. But they also, you know, they also had new items that never made it to the store, pallets of it. So we bought, today we bought over a pallet worth of panty liners, maxi pads, and 2 different kinds of Kodak film that don't expire until 2017 for about $1.50 a roll, and some Tupperware style containers that are about $19. On Amazon sells them for $19, and they sold them to us for $1. Dean, do they have a minimum purchase limit? The location I went to, they don't. I really don't know about that exact one. I bought all they had of each style. After I was done, they asked me how many I wanted, so they may not require you to buy them all. But the banana boxes at that location were $6 to $7, depending on what store they came from. And then you buy them by the pallet. So it was under $500 for a whole pallet of 48, I believe. Most wholesale places, they're going to have a minimum limit. The scratch and dent stores, of course, don't. They're selling to consumers like a regular grocery store. If you go to a liquidation place, some of them have you have to take all. So they'll make you take all of one item. If it's 100 or 10,000, they want you to buy them all of each kind. Some of them will just have everything mixed up in boxes, and you can pick your box or pick your pallet. Some you can build your own pallet where you just choose whatever you want, or you'll have to choose the boxes, and you can fill up your own pallet if you want. So it's all different, and they'll tell you how you have to buy it. Most of them, are selling to a lot of small sellers, flea market vendors. People are just doing professional yard sales. So what they'll do is, they'll go in there and buy what they can afford. They have a little car, and they go in there and buy a couple boxes to sell at the flea market every weekend. Yes, it's all about building relationships, because if they know what you want, then you're going to be the first one to call, because everybody doesn't want to take everything. If you find, a good item, if it's 100 or 500 of them, then they know that you're going to take them all, because if it's a good selling item, you want them all. You don't want somebody else to come and buy them and compete with you on Amazon. So once they understand that you're buying everything of what you can use, then they're going to contact you. So, there's no reason to lie or hide that you sell on Amazon. No liquidator is going to want to not sell to you because you're selling on Amazon. It's only some manufacturers. And you should really be upfront with them as well, because they're not going to be happy if they find out later on that you were doing it. So you just don't want to deal with those kind of people. Sorry?
This guy makes 50 grand a month.
All right, so when I buy pallets, do I pay for shipping or do I pick it up? It really depends. I live in Tampa, so if I'm driving 5 or 6 hours to Miami, I might pick up a pallet or two, or what I usually end up doing is buying the small lots. If I buy a small lot, I'll take it with me. I got a nice size van. So I could, if I take them off the pallets, I can fit two whole pallets in my van. So what I'll do is buy the smaller lots and take them with me. And then if I buy pallets, I have them shipped. It's not much shipping to ship in the same state. And if you have a small vehicle, you can't carry a whole pallet with you. If you don't have a truck, then go there, look at the products, and then have them ship it to you. It's not that great of an expense. Ooh, eBay items. I do sell eBay items. I have somebody who works for me. I have a 2-story warehouse, so the top story is dedicated to eBay. And my merchant fulfilled items. You know, if we buy a whole pallet, for instance, from, you know, any pharmacy, there's going to be some makeup or nail polish mixed in there. And much of that is hazmat. So what we'll do is take anything that is hazmat. I used to sell it on eBay, but you don't make a whole lot of money on that. So now I have somebody that does the hazmat full time. So we sell about 20 to 30 items a day, hazmat. We sell, over the weekend, it usually hits 100. It's not fun. It's very time consuming. And personally, I hate doing it. But if you already own the products, you might as well sell them and make the profit. So the people I pay is worth, I make more money than I'm losing to pay them. So as far as eBay, I'm very lucky. I've been dealing with somebody for probably 4 to 5 years now. What he does, I used to give him the product, and we had one deal. Now he comes to my warehouse. I have the whole top floor just for packing materials and eBay. So I get 60%. I pay him 40%. He comes to my warehouse. He uses his own account. He pays all the fees. He does all the shipping. He pays for all his own materials. So I do nothing but supply product. Anything that's not worth selling, we put in a box and we take it upstairs, and he processes it and lifts it and ships every day. 7 days a week he comes in and processes the items. So you know, it's great for me. You know, but I'm sure in your area, if you look on Craigslist or talk to people, you can find somebody you could do 50-50 split with to do your anything you don't want to sell on Amazon, or anything you're not allowed to sell on Amazon, or return goods that you want to have sent back and still try and sell. You know, so it's worked good for us. I think I have somewhere around 1,800 items listed on eBay right now. I do buy a small amount of stuff to sell on eBay, you know, specifically. But while you're outsourcing, you might as well look for things that you can sell. So if I'm in a location that I can find something for eBay, you know, I'll buy it if I'm already there. That's a great question. How do we find couponers to buy from? You know, we'll dedicate a lot of time to this in the group. I get a great amount of product from couponers. And what we do is we post Craigslist ads. You know, we post some newspaper ads. And once you find one, you know, it's really not in your best interest to do couponing yourself. It takes a lot of time. Even if you go to the sites and find the information, you're still going to go and spend a lot of time doing it. So we post ads looking for businesses going out of sale, people selling Legos, you know, collectible toys, which I can give all that to my eBay seller if it's not new. And what we do is we take and, you know, we tell them we're an online seller after we speak to them. We tell them that we take, you know, we'll give them more than they make, and everybody's happy. You know, the way they get all these deals, if you've never couponed, is they'll go to each store and like the coupons that I posted today for Fresh Market, what it does is it takes, you know, $5 off of 30, $5 off of 50. You know, there's different coupons like this. So what they do is get as close to $50 as they can. So they'll do multiple orders. Sometimes they do 2, take them out, and then they'll come back in and do 2 at a different register. And then they just go to store after store. So they're only buying maybe 5 or 6 items sometimes, because the 5 off of 50 is before all your other discounts. So they just hit every store, and that's how they get all of this stuff for free. So what happens is, as FBA sellers, we may not be able to sell all of that. So it's not worthwhile for us to hit 20 stores to get one item when there's a limit of 4, 6, or 10 of that item. So they can buy that and either use it or trade with other people, or sell it themselves at a flea market or yard sales. But when I go there, I take the bulk of, if they'll sell it to me, I'll take the bulk of what they have. I might clear out half of it, but I don't go there every week. I'll go there every month when they get a good buildup, and I'll fill up my van. Like I posted the pictures. I spent a little over $600, but that one I go to every 2 weeks. But they do couponing full time. That's all they do, and they also sell to other people. I'll post my ads, but it's basically, I have one saying I'm looking for couponers, and I have a virtual assistant who posts these twice a day. So I have a list for Craigslist. I have a lot of different Craigslist communities around me. I have, I'm in Tampa, so there's Tampa, and there's St. Petersburg, and Lakeland, which is between Tampa and Orlando. So we're posting in different cities, and we're posting in different areas of Craigslist. So we post in general for sale. We post in the business section, because if a business may be going out of business, have gone bankrupt, they're trying to liquidate their items, they might be posting about it there. So we're posting the wanted. We post in a lot of different areas, anything where we think those people might be seeing it. We also post in the yard sale or garage sale section, because that's where they're going to post their ads to sell the stuff. So combined with the cities and the different categories, we get very good coverage. And I do get a lot of people contacting me, but some of them want more than I can afford to pay, and I explain to them what I'm doing over the phone. I don't say in the ad what I'm doing, but I say I'm buying all the things that they sell. I have tailored the ads to couponers. I tell them that I want, health and beauty and grocery items, and they can't be within 100 days of expiring. Then I have a completely different ad where I ask for businesses. Businesses that are going out of business, businesses that are downsizing, businesses that have already gone bankrupt and closed, and they have all their stuff in storage, called new old stock. And I tell them that I'm interested in buying all that. I'm interested in buying all product that's at least 100 days from expiring. Just because you say it doesn't mean you have to go and buy it. But all they have to do is talk to you, and then you can tell them what you're looking for. Even if they don't have it, they might have it in the future, or they might know somebody else who does. And, it's all about building relationships.
Sean, did you see that question from Jason about advice if they don't have a lot of capital starting out?
Yeah, I see all the questions. Yeah, I just wanted to touch on these other ones that are related. From Marlene, do I have templates for those ads I can share? Yes, I will post the exact ads that we use, for different areas. And, you can post them yourself. I have a VA who does other things. So, just mute this person. I have a virtual assistant in Europe, speaks English, who posts all these ads for me. They also post ads for things I might get. Like right now, I have a child carrier, that goes on the back of a bicycle, and a few other things we've gotten in deals. So we post them on Facebook groups. I had her join all the local Facebook groups, so she's in about 50 of them, and she posts one item a day in those groups, to sell those. So that frees up time for us to do it ourselves. But yes, I will post what we're using in the group. From Darren, you'd like to see how this virtual system works in a boilerplate ad that I use. Well, I don't have a virtual system. I have a virtual assistant, which is a virtual assistant is just somebody that you hire. You can go into our free group, and I'm sure there's tons of people who have Amazon experience who would be happy to do it. Or you can go onto one of the many sites. Upworks is what I usually use, and you can hire people from all over the world for as little as I think $3 to $4. $3 to $4 an hour, and he, they'll do basically whatever you want online. So, that's what I've done, and I've trained them. I make videos, training them what to do. Okay, Jason says, what advice do you have for somebody who does not have a lot of capital starting out? Well, as a matter of fact, I didn't have any capital starting out. These people who are making $100,000 a month. I've seen people who are making $1 million a month with 2% returns. They had a lot of money to spend. So if I had $1 million to spend every month, I could get, great returns, and only have to make 20 or 30%. But I started out with nothing. In August of 2012, I sent in things I had around my house. I found out about Scan Power. I sold enough. I bought Scan Power. I bought, a scanner, a label printer, and I've been using Scan Power ever since. I've tried everything else. I just like Scan Power better. And we just continue to reinvest all of our money. So, starting out with nothing, the last I looked, I had about $500,000 worth of inventory. So you can do it. You do have to get out and go to the stores and scan. But what I did was I went to yard sales, I went to flea markets, I went to thrift stores, and I scanned like crazy there, found things that I could buy cheaply with great returns, a lot of video games. I used to own a video game store in a flea market, a very big one. So what I did was just find all those products that, with great returns, and I just kept sending them in and making the money and reinvesting it. You can't make a couple $1,000s and go on a trip and then have to start over again. You have to keep reinvesting that money, until you're successful. And I'm still reinvesting every penny I have. I don't live any differently than when I started. And I think that's the key. Don't make a little bit of money and spend it. I took every penny I've had since I started this business and kept reinvesting it, and that's what you have to do to become successful.
So, Sean, just to give you a FYI, because I know sometimes it's difficult to track when you're running these meetings, but we've got about 15 minutes left for the first call here until we get to 8 o'clock my time, which would be, I guess, 9 yours.
Right.
So are there any last parting comments, or do you want to have like a Q&A session where people get a chance to talk, or maybe share a success story, or what direction you want to go in for the last 15 minutes?
Yeah, if anybody has any more questions, they can ask or comment, or No more questions? Okay. That's fine. We can end it early. I have work to do. I hunted down some liquidators that turned into gold mines. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, that's great. That's
Way to go.
that's the way to do it. I wasn't looking at liquidators when I started. What I was looking at was thrift stores and scratch and dent stores, and that's where it's basically the same thing. Liquidators are like going to a thrift store, I think, just on a bigger scale. And, I've made a lot of money going to liquidators, but it's by developing those relationships that you can really thrive in this business, because if they don't want to talk to you, then they're not going to talk to you. And, if you have to call, you're not going to find the deals, because as soon as the deals get there, they're on the phone finding someone to buy them. Because they only have so much room in the warehouse, so they're filling up, truckloads of stuff at a time, and they want it out as soon as they get it in, because if there's no room, they can't buy more stuff.
It's a great question from Darren. What do you do when you run out of money?
I try and run out of money as quickly as I possibly can. The reason for that is, the money in your pocket is not making you any money. There's no point to put a limit of, $50 or $100. Say, I'm only going to spend $100 today, because, you're on a 2-week cycle. I'm on a 2-week cycle too. I don't have an older account to get daily payouts. I get paid, once every 2 weeks. So if you get paid and you stretch that money out till the end, then it's going to be another month to get your money. If you buy it as quick as you can and get it sent off to Amazon, then you're going to get that money back, or at least part of it, on the next paycheck. So, that's the only way to be doubling your money. Now, with retail arbitrage grocery, what ROI am I looking for? I always look for the same ROI, at least 100%. I said when I have more money than I can spend, I will stop doing 100% ROI and lower it. Personally, I feel that people who are doing saying I'm happy with 20% or 30% or 50%, I think they're lazy for the most part, because most people I talk to can get 100% ROI. So if you're settling for 50, then you're not looking hard enough, because I know it's out there. I have over 20,000 items at Amazon that I'm going to make at least 100% ROI on. So I never accept less than 100% ROI. And, I've never not run out of money. So I know the deals are there because I'm buying them every day. So you're finding people who frown upon Amazon when you tell them. So now you just say you're fundraising. Okay. Well, the simple answer to that is don't tell them that you sell on Amazon. Unless it's a business transaction and you're not doing retail arbitrage, there's no reason to tell them. It's nobody's business unless you're doing business with them. So, if you're buying from a company or buying from a wholesaler, it is their business what you're doing with it. If you're shopping in a store and the cashier wants to know, or the person shopping next to you wants to know, it's none of their business. And, you're not going to make a deal with the cashier. A cashier is not going to give you a better price, and a cashier, is not going to sell you all of their clearance for 50% off. So my response when they ask me is, why does it matter? What are you doing with all this stuff? I said, I literally say, does it matter? And and that's it. You know. Now, if a manager wants to know, you know, I'll tell them that you know, I sell online, and I buy tens of thousands of dollars every month or every week or whatever you want to tell them. You know, just because you say you buy that doesn't mean you have to buy it from them, because they don't know how much you're selling. You know, make them understand that, you know, you're there to do business, and you know, if they want to sell, get rid of all their clearance, and a lot of them do, then you're the guy they want to talk to. You know, so even if they don't want to do it today, they'll see you the next time and the next time. And, you know, one day they're going to say, hey, I got all this stuff in the back. Do you want to take a look at it? And, you know, unless they have a policy against you know, for not selling to you, then there's no reason to hide it from managers or assistant managers. But there's also no reason to tell other customers or cashiers or lower level employees what you're doing. You know, it's none of their business. So if you want to tell charity, that's fine.
I always look at them and wink and say, college kids, you know, and then that shuts them down, right? They don't ask any other questions.
Yeah, you can tell them whatever you want. My wife tells you know, people they're getting ready for the zombie apocalypse. You know, I don't care. It's, you know, it's really none of their business. You know, if it's their business, I tell them. You know, because, you know, why do business on a lie? If I develop relationships with managers, yes, of course I have. That's what I was just talking about. And you know, Walgreens, you know, loves to get rid of all their stuff. You know, a lot of Walmarts love to get rid of stuff. You know, it depends on who you're dealing with. If you're dealing with a low-level manager, a floor manager, an assistant manager, they don't care about the bottom line. You know, the general managers care about the bottom line. You know, a sale is a sale to them. If they sell something for $1 or they sell it for $20, it doesn't matter, because on the computer it's going to show them, you know, their managers, the regional manager, or, you know, whoever it is, what your you know, what they sold total. It's not going to say, well, you know, $60 was for 80 items in clearance. You know, so they're just trying to move product. You know, once it hits clearance, they don't want it anymore. They want to, you know, they want to get rid of it as fast as they can. And if you go in there and help them do that, where they can sell profitable items in that same space, then that's what they want to do. Okay, I think we're about out of time, so if there's any more quick questions, we can answer you. If not, we're going to have to go until next week. One last thing, though, try and get ungated. You know, there's a lot of people that can help. Nate McAllister is in our group. He has an ungating service, but he has some reports he's going to put out, and he has a lot of, you know, he has a lot of help. And Lena, if you have any questions, you know, she's very good at getting ungated. She doesn't, you know, do it for a business, but, you know, she'll help most people in the group.
Yeah, Sean, one last question. William asked if most of your 100% are, I mean, I know the answer to this, but if most of your 100% ROI are single units or bundles, are you doing a lot of bundling, or do you mainly focus on individual items?
For a small period, I'm assuming you mean single units or multi-packs. A bundle would be different items. Multi-packs are multiples of the same item. You know, we do whatever sells. So, you know, if the single pack, we can make more money, or if it has a higher rank, then we do that. If a multi-pack, you know, is better for us, then we do that. You know, I have 6 people who work for me. at my warehouse. So, I'm more worried about what's going to be most profitable. Some other people might be worried about saving time. But if a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 5-pack are all making good money and I can source it, then I will sell on all those listings. So I guess the answer is whatever, is going to make me the most amount of money in a reasonable amount of time. DVD ungating. No, I don't. I'm not doing that. I've seen too many problems. You get ungated in DVDs. I've talked to a lot of people who have gotten ungated and then they sold something over 25 and Amazon told them that they couldn't sell that because, they didn't have permission to sell that specific item. So I've chosen not to do that, but I'm ungated in every other category. Yes, I list items as add-ons as well. If an item is ranked 10,000, then that sales velocity is the same if it's an add-on or not. If it wasn't an add-on, it might have a better rank, but add-on or not, it's still going to sell at the same rate for the same ranked item. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. Good night.